the night I was born. He told me, no, if that was true, your name would be Budweiser. So that worked out pretty good. So, my home group. You're new from Essential, the big group that just came over, right? I'm John.
Hi.
And what's your name? Becky, nice to meet you. We've met before. My home group?
Yes, from Essential.
From Essential?
Thanks,
Okay.
Kim.
Are you with Essential too?
No.
No? Okay. All right. My home group, right? And then we have a trader in the room who I'm going to call out. So I met Laura at an open house on Sunday and asked her to come by, so she's joining us. We're going to put her in that room with the bright lights and make her change over to my home group. I forgot to tell you about that. So, okay, so we're all kind of family here as far as my home group. So a lot of this stuff, doesn't matter if you're with my home group or with whatever brokerage there is. I do warn everybody, I'm a Southside Chicago guy. I cannot help myself sometimes. I'm a Sox fan, and I root for the White Sox and whoever plays the Cubs. I hate the Cubs. Big hockey fan. But more importantly, if you ever go to a class, and you're sitting through a class, and you're sitting there, and halfway through the class, you're going, who the hell is this guy, and why should we listen to what he has to say? Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Right? So that's why I'm telling you a little bit about myself, not to pat myself on the back or you know, I don't, you know, my kids think I'm great and my wife thinks I'm great, so I'm good. So that's not what I'm looking for. I just think it's important you understand that I come from a position of strength when I talk to you about this stuff, because I've been there. I've owned my own business for over 30 years. I've made so many mistakes. And if I can share any of those and you don't make them because of it, we all win. Okay? So I swear a little bit once in a while. I apologize. It's just part of my nature. Okay, so there's going to be a slide in here about teaching an old dog new tricks. I'm the old dog. Okay, so after being in business for 30 years, you figure you got it all worked out. And then I did something a couple months ago. I hired a coach. And I never thought I'd ever hire a coach, because I ended up coaching people more than I've ever had a coach. And it changed my outlook on everything. So, who in here is a newer agent, under a year? Okay? And then, who's been in the business for like a long time?
What's a long time?
I don't know, like 5 years and above. Okay? Okay, so here's what I'll tell you. There's stuff I'm going to talk about you may disagree with. You may say, no, I don't believe in it. That's okay, because I do open houses my way, and Neil Brooks does an open house course, and it's great, and it works for him. So what I'm telling you, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But if you get a nugget out of this class, or just something that says, hey, I could do that, or that's something I could use. So that's why I changed the name of this class, to stop chasing deals and start chasing opportunities. Because if you get locked into chasing a deal, you're going to get locked into a deal and miss out on a whole bunch of opportunities. So my whole thing now is I'm not chasing deals anymore. I'm chasing opportunities. So I had some optional names for this class that Kelly said were good and weren't. Like number 2 was my favorite, but she seemed to think that wouldn't work out so well. But this is all along the lines of what this class is really all about, okay? Okay? So I think I'm funny, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. So a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today is all about you. So everybody in this room interviewed for a job to work for this brokerage, right? You sat with Mark or Jeremy, or you sat with Mike, and you interviewed, and you don't just come in, they don't just hire everybody. You would think so, because when I'm agent number 86, and now they're on like 1,486 or something. So this brokerage is going really, really fast. So as a realtor, we're all interviewing, and the sooner you get it in your head that no matter where you're at, if you got a name tag on, or if it says my home group, or if you're exposing yourself as a realtor in any way, shape, or form, you're interviewing for a job. Always. Okay? So do you wear a shirt that says F New York, or or smoke weed at 6 in the morning, or whatever. Okay, so these are all things you don't think about. You like, oh, there goes one of my partners. Now we're in trouble. I'm really in big trouble at 3 o'clock. Oh, you're gonna kick my ass. Okay, so part of that first impression thing is you know, if you're gonna be out and you're gonna be smoking weed or getting drunk, maybe you should take your name tag off. Just makes sense, right? Does that make sense? Unless you're in a room full of other people that are smoking weed and they might need a realtor that smokes weed. So yeah, I'm good with that too. I mean, drunks need to buy houses and people that smoke weed need to buy houses. So I have a problem with that. So that's all good. You know, it's kind of, you know, my dad used to tell me, take a look at what your boss looks like. Because he looks in the mirror and he likes the way he looks every day. So if your boss is clean shaven and has a short haircut, then you should probably be clean shaven and have a hair. Okay, a little different for girls because you guys dress different and spend way more time on that than we do. And then you have to decide whether you're going to be aggressive or passive. But one thing you should always be is be authentic. Be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not, because as soon as somebody figures out that you're not the person that you're exposing yourself to be, you're done. You just lost. Okay? Because somebody else is going to be authentic with them, and they're going to like that better. Okay, so here's a little bit about me so you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm Catholic. I love sports. I'm a veteran. I'm really, really big on vets issues. Okay? I lived in Chicago, California, Arizona, Colorado, Texas. I've done business all over the United States. I'm a married man. I'm a very, very happily married family man. I flirt all the time, whether my wife's next to me or not. And Amanda, actually, probably everybody that knows me knows that's just me. I am a Republican. I spent 20 years in the furniture business. I spent 4 years as an LO. Now these are starting to become a little more important. I spent 2 years as a title rep. I spent 1 year teaching realtors how to buy properties at auction, and realized after a year that realtors are one of 3 kind of realtors. They're too dumb, they're too lazy, or that's not interesting to them. Okay? But buying houses at auction is totally different than what we're normally used to. There's no Binzers, there's no title company, there's no anything. And as soon as you put something different in front of a lot of realtors, they're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I was spinning my wheels trying to get these people to do it. Because if they bought houses at auction, I made money. Well, none of them were buying properties at auction because it just was confusing to them. So I decided to go get my license myself. And then I ended up winning Rookie of the Year my first year here because it just seemed really easy. Okay? I have a master's degree from the School of Hard Knocks. 32 years in business. I have screwed up pretty much everything. But the one thing I did do is I learned from every mistake that I made. Okay? And I'm still making mistakes all the time. And there's a girl in this room that's going to kick my ass at 3 o'clock and tell me about some other mistakes. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of covering the whole thing on why should I listen to what this guy has to say. Because I'm just an agent here, guys. I'm not a broker. I'm not, you know, I'm just an agent like everybody else. Okay, anybody in here interested in the Tour de France? Tour de France. Anybody like cycling? Okay, so the Tour de France is going on right now, which is why I don't get to the office until 10 o'clock every morning now, because I have to watch it every day. So the Tour de France is the 22-stage race around the whole country of France, okay? And one guy wins it. But realistically, there's only about 8 guys in the group of 180 riders that can actually win the race. So there's 172 guys that are not going to win this race. They're not there to win. They're there to help their guy win. Okay? So cycling, and I'm not going to get way deep into this, don't worry. Cycling is all about position. So you got one guy that's riding, and then you see all these guys staggered because they're breaking wind. So the last guy in the line is doing the least amount of work because the other guys are all blocking the wind. So when you're riding a bike, it's much harder to ride into a wind than it is without. Okay, so all those 7 guys in front of him are helping the guy in the back to save energy so he can last the longest in the race and end up winning on the last day. Okay, that's the Tour de France. Okay, this was my inaugural ride in the Tour de Scottsdale. That's a really good picture. You should see it. I was like jacked. I was in great shape. And then I passed out when that was over. It almost killed me. Anyway, so I'm into the whole team kind of aspect thing, which is what I want to talk to you a little bit about now. So I have a team. Why didn't that? Oh boy. Okay, so you don't have to answer this question, but you need to answer it for yourself. Okay? Just like in cycling, you can't win the Tour de France without a team around you. I'm here to tell you right now that you cannot be uber successful in this business without a team. And I'm not talking about the Essential team. I'm not talking about the Barraza team. I'm not talking about, the Remax Jimmy Johnson team or whatever. I'm talking about yourself. You have to have a team yourself. I have a team, okay? 2 of my teammates are in the room with us today, okay? My lender is my teammate. Not only does he do all the loans for my clients, I refer every client I have to this lender, and he earned that spot. It's not just because I like him. I don't. I really don't like him. I like his wife and his kids a whole lot better than him. Okay? But Jim Szabo is my lending partner. Okay? So how much do you need to know about loans if you've got a lending partner? If it's part of your team, how much do you need to know about loans?
Not much.
Enough to get people to call him. Okay? That's how much you need to know. I was a loan officer for 4 years, so maybe I know a little bit more than most realtors, so I can talk a little bit about the loan process and how it works. And that becomes important because when I meet clients and I tell them, hey, you need to call Jim Szabo or have Jim Szabo call you, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to use Jim, you have to commit to getting him documents within 24 hours of when he asks for them. Or we can't do business together. Ballsy, right? I don't want your business unless you can do it my way.
24 hours.
Guess what? I'm working for you. You want to buy this house? You have to help me. I can't do it all myself. I can't go to your house and get your bank statements. But when Jim calls me and says, hey, I need these documents, 24 hours. You have to agree to that with me. You got 24 hours to get those loan documents over to him. Gotta have it. Because he's my team partner. He's my partner. It's not just my loan officer. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Title. I'm a little lucky. So I strayed around looking for the grass is always greener kind of thing with title companies. And I moved away from lawyers for a little while. But I have an incredible relationship with lawyers, probably because I strayed away a little bit to see what else was out there. And I found out that I was in the right place all along. This is not a sales pitch for lawyers, although if you ask me, I will tell you that Lawyers is the best title company in town. For my money, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Now, I've got kind of a special deal because Amanda and I have been not only partners but friends for a long time, and she's not in a position where she just works with realtors anymore, but she kind of adopted me, and I'm not letting her leave me.
That's because I like bossing you around.
I'm telling you, she literally yells at me, and that's no joke. She will literally walk in my office and yell at me if I don't do something. But she's my partner. Actually, she yells at me more than, anyway, but she's my partner, okay? And Brooklyn is my rep, okay? So I have Brooklyn and Amanda. Kim does a great job. I don't know how many reps you guys have. They're all over the valley. You can talk about that a little. But you should have a partner in title, okay? Anybody in this room not understand why a title partner is important? Or would like to know more about why a title partner? Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so what do title companies do for you? They can do printing. Yeah, we can print. Oh, I need a phone number for this area. Yeah, they can get you phone numbers. That's not a problem. Every title company in town can get you. What's some things that every title company? They can get you phone numbers, a farm list.
A listing packet.
They've got pre-made buyer guides and seller guides and oh, I want to print this and door hangers and all that. That's all great. And they have to have that. Everybody's got to have that. If you tell somebody that you're in the title business, you pretty much, it goes without asking that you can get that stuff, right? Okay. So what does lawyers offer that the other title companies don't? I'll tell you. They offer partnerships, okay? Their reps actually give a shit on whether or not you make money, on whether or not you're successful, okay? Can I tell them something that's just, okay, so Amanda.
No, wait, what? You just agreed to that?
There's nothing, trust me, there's nothing. So Amanda was with lawyers and then did some other things in real estate and then came back. But before she left, she asked me to work on this project and said, okay, I'll check back with you next Monday. So she came in the next Monday and I didn't do it, what I had promised to do for her.
God bless you.
And she looked at me and she pointed at me and she said, don't waste my fucking time. That's a partner. She actually gave a shit that I didn't do what I promised I would do for her. Because guess what? It wasn't for her. It was for me. And from that day forward, it just works. True or false? It just works. It works. Because she's trying to help me be successful. Okay? What does she care if I didn't do it? She could have just gone, okay, and walked out and, not gave a shit. But she knows I'm capable of what I'm capable and knows that she could help me be successful. And she's committed to doing that. That's a partner. Okay? Same thing with Jim Zabel, my lending partner in the back. Jim, raise your hand. It's Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Everybody thinks Jim should shave. Raise your hand.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you. So it goes the same thing with your lending partner. Your lender should be your partner, not just somebody you're sending loans to. Okay? And that should be a two-way street.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, how often is a lender going to come up with a client for you? They're not out on the street looking for clients. Their job is to make sure that your client's loan gets done. And what happens if your client's loan gets done? They're going to tell their friends, hey, Johnny Walker was great, and his lending partner was great, he had everything done, and his title partner was great, and his home warranty partner was awesome, and they were there when I needed them. And they're not just run-of-the-mill people. I've specifically chosen these people to be my partners. And they are my partners. By the way, we're doing a picture next week. I forgot to tell you that. Okay. One of my slides got messed up, guys, so I'm going to... Okay. So another partner I have is, who in here considers their home warranty rep a partner? Absolutely. Shelley Carr will call my clients if they have an issue at the drop of a hat. Shelley, I got a problem. My client, they just moved in and they got a problem with their hot water heater. They're not sure. Give me their number, I'll call them. And she calls them.
That's our,
That's Shelley Carr with OneGuard. Shelley Carr with OneGuard is awesome. Not only that, but Shelley came up with a marketing tool for me that I could use prior to me ever selling the property. It's an explanation, it's a whole explanation on how home warranty works, and that, look at, let's go ahead and sign up for the home warranty in the part of the contract where you choose your home warranty. Don't pick a plan. You got 30 days from the day that you sign up to change it. So after you move in, figure out what you need then. Guess who's gonna call them and find out? Are you okay with the plan that Johnny picked for you? Let me go through the whole thing with you and explain exactly what everything's about. She'll do that for you. That's customer service. So what happens when those people are talking to their new neighbors about, God, this girl from the home warranty company called me to make sure that I had the right plan. That sale is done, it's over. She doesn't have to do that. She'll do that. That's a partner. It's important. God bless you.
God bless you.
May the Lord bless you and hold you in the palm of his hand all the days of your life. Okay. All right. Okay, so all this stuff today, if I told you I could teach you how to go get a transaction today, would you believe me?
Yes,
Today.
absolutely.
I'm not asking you, Jay.
Sorry.
All right, I'll use you for an example.
You can use her.
Could you go get a deal today?
Right now, I got, yeah.
You can do it. Could you?
if you tell me what to do.
Okay?
Yeah, if you tell me what to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gotta just have a set. You gotta be able to go and get it. That's what this is all about. I'll teach you some ways that I use that work and that will work for anybody, but they won't work for you if you don't have the guts. Let's use guts. That's a good word. If you don't have the
I just
guts.
wanted to clarify, so yes, got
If
it.
you don't have the guts to go out and do it, and all you need is a real estate license and a phone and a business card. You don't even have to have the business card. You don't even have to have the phone. Okay? You just got to have the guts to go tell people what you do and tell them why you're good at it. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Okay. Okay, so what's your one thing? Around the room. what's your, wait, what do they call them? Jeremy calls them pillars. What's your pillars? Okay, what's your pillar, Jay?
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Sphere of influence so far.
Unsure.
Thought, yeah.
No, unsure. That's a good answer. Undecided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Undecided.
Referrals?
Referrals.
Open houses.
Okay.
Referrals.
Okay. So we got two. Only one thing had two people. That was referrals, right? Right. We had open houses. We had Craigslist. We had okay. Awesome. That's awesome. I couldn't ask for a better response. Okay, so open houses, internet leads, referrals, or your sphere would be CRM, Facebook, social media, guerrilla marketing we'll talk about, partners, luck, prayer, wishful thinking, and referrals. All great ways to get business.
That's awesome.
Okay. So before we go any further, I'm going to tell you that everybody has shit. We all have stuff, okay? We all have stuff. It's all our own private stuff. Divorce, I don't have any money, I'm sick, my wife is sick, whatever it is, baby's sick. All of us have stuff in our lives. Is that fair to say? True, everybody's got something that's going to be an issue that could stop them from doing what they're... Okay, so always remember that not just you have that, but everybody else does too. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to tell you to do today might not work in certain instances because everybody's got shit. Somebody might just be having a bad day. You know, somebody's dad might have just died. Somebody's dog might have just died. Somebody's whatever. We could come up with a million different scenarios. Okay? So I used to have about 100 sales guys that worked for me at this place here in Arizona. And I had everybody come in one day and I gave them all a paper bag and an index card. Okay? And I said, I want you to write your shit on the index card. Whatever your shit is in your life. Nobody's going to read it. It's your shit. Okay? Blew up the bags. We put the index card in the bags. We walked everybody out. I think there was 79 of us. We all walked outside, put our bags outside, walked back into class. And everybody's like, what the hell is he doing this time? So here's the point. Take your shit, put it in a bag, and leave it outside your car, and go do your job. Try to take the crap, the shit that's in your life, and take it away from what you're doing for a living. Because if you do that and ignore that for just a little bit, what you do at work might just change some of the stuff that's in the bag. Okay? So if you go out and get a couple transactions and you were wondering how you're going to feed your kids next month, now all of a sudden that crap is eliminated from your bag. Here's the best part. Your shit that's in that bag will still be there when you get off because nobody's going to steal your shit. They got their own shit. Does that make sense? So take your stuff and put it aside, okay? But be respectful of people that are coming into your open house or that you're calling on the phone or that you meet on the street or whatever because everybody's got stuff going on, okay? Be kind. Be kind. Okay. I'm going to kind of skip by this. We talked about the interview. If you're a realtor, you're interviewing all the time. Okay, and a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about at open houses or at grocery stores or whatever, dress the part. I mean, this is common sense stuff. You know, be prepared. How'd you dress? You know what you're trying to accomplish. If you don't get the job, go back and figure out, well, why didn't they hire me? What is it that I did wrong? Maybe you can make an improvement on whatever it is that you did. You can learn from it. Okay? Okay. And then my biggest pet peeve is this. What was your name?
Paul.
Paul? How old are you, Paul?
33.
Really? Do you have a family?
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm interested in what you're saying?
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
Not even a little bit. I don't give a crap what you just said. I'm just asking questions because that's what I'm supposed to do. Get off your phones. Set your phone down for 5 minutes and be authentic with somebody. Look them in the eye. What's your name?
Paul.
Hey, Paul, I'm Johnny. Are you
Nice
married?
to meet you. No.
No? Do you like sports?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I look like I actually give a shit about what I just asked you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about this? Do you like sports? I like hockey. I didn't even give him a chance to answer. You know? What's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball? Who's your favorite team? I'm a really big Bulls fan, by the way.
Yeah,
just
so
love
am
the
I.
Bulls, yeah, so-
Chicago.
Boom. Right? Okay, stay off your phones. Okay, so what's the one thing we're looking for when we meet people? Either if it's referrals, if it's your sphere, open house, what else do we have? Craigslist, I don't know if this will work for Craigslist, that's not my ballpark, but work with me for a second. So we have referrals, open houses, sphere, what else do we have?
Social media.
Social media, okay? So the one thing we're looking for is commonality, right? Something to talk about, right? Paul and I both like sports. We just found that out. We're both, are you really from Chicago?
Yeah, born and raised.
Now we have something to talk about, no doubt about it. So to open up a conversation with somebody, I'm a big open house guy, so I'm gonna refer to open houses a lot, okay? So if somebody comes into your open house and they walk in, you go, hi, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, we're asking $487,000, it's 1,587 square feet, it's got, how much connection do you have so far? None. Zero. You could have handed them the sheet that you had printed, they got the same information. True or false? Okay, so forget about it. They know what they're there for. You know what they're there for. Find out about them first. Here's a great example. Walked into my open house on Sunday. Before, we never even talked about the house. I already knew from Ohio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of new to the business, was doing some new build stuff, right? Okay, so you got to find something common to talk about. As soon as she said she was from Ohio, we had something to talk about. I'm from Illinois, Midwest. So now all of a sudden there's something there we're going to find a way to talk about. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So look for something common. Here's something that we all have in common. We all have families. Every single one of us have a family. Every single one of us breathe. So if you really, really, really can't find something common to talk about,
What if it's Norton?
okay, is that your phone ringing? Oh, they still have a family. The orphanage is their family. Okay. So find something to talk about. Okay? It's hot outside. Man, this heat's killing me. Is it hot for you? Does your air conditioner work? Find something to talk about. Okay? We all eat. Everybody likes food. Whether they agree to it or not, everybody has a favorite food. Find something to talk about. Do you see that new Italian restaurant that opened up on the corner of 44th and like right around Bell or whatever? There's a new barbecue restaurant, which we're gonna go to. Ooh, awesome. Find something to talk about other than what you're there for. Okay? Don't go straight into what you're there for. Okay? You'll feel inauthentic. We all live in Arizona. So find something. So a lot of people tell me I don't have a lot of things in common. So that list of things that I put up there earlier about me, that I'm from Chicago, I'm a Republican, I like sports, all that stuff. I have a lot of stuff to go on to talk to people about. I've done business all over the country. 90% of the time somebody will say, oh, I'm from Nebraska. And I can say, God, I used to do business with Nebraska Furniture Mart in Omaha. You ever heard of them? Everybody's heard of them. Well, now all of a sudden we're talking about something other than what we're both there for. Okay? Open it up. Release that tension. Take those walls down. Okay? Find something to talk about. Okay? Once again, put yourself in their shoes. Everybody's got stuff. Okay? If they're walking into your open house, why are they walking into your open house? A lot of reasons. They might have just had nothing to do, and they're just driving around and looking at houses. But somewhere in there, they're looking at houses for some reason, somehow, right? Or maybe they're serious buyers. Do we like this area?
Just thirsty.
Maybe they're just thirsty.
Cold water.
Maybe they just wanted to get out of the heat. You know, all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of stuff, okay? Are they chatty? Should you be chatty? Are they funny? Should you be funny? Are they serious? Should you be serious? Should you be serious and funny? Should you try to break down where they're at? These are all things. Do they have an accent? Does everybody recognize a New York accent? What's another accent that nobody can deny?
Southern.
Southern accent, right? How about here in Arizona? We have a lot of Hispanic speaking people, right? True or false? Right? Recognize it. Do they have an accent? What kind of clothes are they wearing? You know, if they got a fuck New York shirt on and you do too, you're golden. Okay? But if they got a Make America Great Again shirt on and you're not so big on that, should you bring it up?
No.
Yeah, avoid it. Learn a lot by what they're wearing. Okay? Sad some people just walk around sad. Some people walk around happy. I'm one of those guys. Are they in a hurry? Why are they in a hurry? Are they in a hurry because this isn't the right house for them? Are they in a hurry because every time they go to an open house, they get the shit beat out of them by the realtor to get their information so that they can send them 400 emails and 300 phone calls and be another one of those guys that really don't give a crap about them, right? So they're going to be in a hurry. Take that off the table if you can, okay? And then I say this to my wife all the time. It drives her absolutely crazy, but put yourself in their shoes if you can. Try to figure out who, what, where, how, when, what they're all about, what they're wearing. Try to surmise a little bit about them and put yourself in their shoes, okay? And address them that way, okay? And introduce your tagline. My tagline used to be, don't hire me, interview me, okay? Because you got to know that you're getting the best. I am the best. I could tell you that all day long, but I gotta make sure that you believe that before we can go any further, okay? And that's where you cover who I am, why I'm qualified, and this is how you get a hold of me. There's 3 I's that you're going to need. We're going to cover that in a second. Okay. Confident, not cocky. This is all the same stuff. Read your audience. We're going to get into some more, some better stuff. Okay. These are all places that I got business. Okay. So I got my license. I was Rookie of the Year 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And I will tell you that I got the majority of my business when I first started at open houses. I sat open house every day. I found one of my associates listing on 63rd Street or 64th Street, the busy street. Okay, and I sat it open every day. I went to class every morning. I did 3 hours of CE class every morning, and then went and sat that open. I bought a table, a chair, I had a computer, and help me out, Amanda, a thing that connects to the internet, a hotspot. Okay, and that's how I got all my business, just sitting there waiting for people to come in. So, what do people going to open houses have in common with you? What are we all looking for? Someone that wants to buy or sell a home, correct? Okay. What do you think the chances are that somebody coming into an open house want to talk to you about real estate? Better than meeting
Pretty
someone at a strip joint?
Yeah.
Probably?
Absolutely.
Okay? So your odds have just gone up exponentially looking for someone that's looking for a house. Maybe that's not the right one, but do you have access to something that might be able to find them the right one? Right, so why not be there? That was my thinking, okay? And that's how I won Rookie of the Year. I had to get 10 deals from open houses my first couple months.
How many did you do a week?
Open houses?
Mm-hmm.
7.
Wow.
7. But here's the key. I also, every time I got done with an open house, I would go stand in front of the grocery store until I handed out 10 flyers, and I wouldn't go home until I handed out 10 flyers. I'm going to get to that in a second. But I put all my chips on the table, guys. You got to understand, when you really need it, ask yourself, what are you willing to do to go get that business? And I wasn't going to be able to feed my wife and kids if I didn't get business. So all my chips were in the middle of the table. So I was doing everything I had to do to get business. Do I still do it? Yeah. Do I have to have it? No. But I still do it. Not to the extent I was. I'm guilty of that too. I'm trying to work smarter now. That's right. Amanda's my partner. Not so much you. Okay. So, open houses, Starbucks. You ever talk to people in line at Starbucks? Have you ever been to Starbucks and had somebody buy your coffee and say, hey, I'm buying the next guy in line's coffee? Has that ever happened to anybody here? Yeah. Happened to me and opened my eyes. Okay? So for $3.50, if you're a gambling man, what's the chances of maybe you're standing in line and you're listening to somebody on the phone or something and talking about, oh, you know, my cousin's moving here and she's going to be looking for a job and this and that and the other. So take $3.50 and say, hey, I'd like to buy her her coffee, whoever this gal is behind me. And then just give her her card before you leave. Don't go any further. Just say, I overheard your conversation. If I can help in any way, let me know. And then leave. Unless she wants to engage. Then sit down and have coffee. I did that all the time. Grocery store. Talk to people in the grocery store. don't be afraid to talk to people. If they have kids, I own them. I own them if they have kids. If they come to my open house with kids, I own them. Okay? Do not go to schools. That's not what this means. If your kids are in school, if your kids are in school, then you have something common with all the other people that are at that school. Okay? That's what I mean. You can get business that way. Kids events, same thing. Craft fairs. I hate craft fairs. But if people are at craft fairs, you never know. If you can open up a conversation with people, do it pretty much everywhere. It was my thing. Okay. This is my wheelhouse right here. Okay? Okay, what's the best day of the year to do an open house?
4th of July. No.
4th of July.
Memorial Day weekend.
Today.
Memorial Day? Today? Good answer.
Day after Thanksgiving.
I actually have a specific day of the year.
Day
That's
after
the best.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Black Friday. Best day of the year to do an open house, without question. You don't agree?
I don't know. I've never done one on Black Friday.
Black
I think everybody
Friday
shopping.
has traditionally been my very best open house day ever, and I'm gonna have a whole new thing this year. I'm gonna do 4 open houses on Black Friday. 4. I'll explain to you how I'm gonna do that in a second. So, Black Friday. What do we get in Arizona in November? What's awesome in November
All
in
the
Arizona?
vendors that are coming.
Weather.
Good.
Weather's awesome. Okay? Where does everybody need to be at Christmas? Home. If home is New York or Chicago or Ohio or Minnesota or California or Canada or any place that's got snow, people need to be home for Christmas because that's what they grew up with. Everybody goes home for Christmas. Not everybody goes home for Thanksgiving. They come here. This town is packed with people. Okay? And guess what? On Black Friday, what do all those numbskulls do on Black Friday? They go out and shop, right? Okay. So if you go out and buy a TV, can you take that back to Chicago with you? Nope. Nope. People aren't out shopping. They're out golfing, or they're out looking at houses, or they're doing something else. They do their shopping online, the cyber shopping, which that's important. But Black Friday, people are out looking at houses. Imagine if we lived here, honey. You know, the kids could be out playing outside instead of being frozen to death in Chicago under 8 feet of snow, and have that attitude at your open house. You know, isn't it a great day? Isn't it awesome outside? My whole family's in Chicago. They're freezing their asses off. They're shoveling, and you know, because now all of a sudden that commonality thing, people that are here visiting grandma, grandpa came here from the snow. They got out of the snow. All of a sudden, you're going to have a whole lot to talk about. I moved here 30 years ago. I haven't shoveled snow. It's hard to shovel in the sunshine. Okay, Black Friday's the best day. Holidays are great days for open houses. Okay, especially when the weather's nice. I don't necessarily agree with July 4th. I'm not saying it's not. I haven't had as good a luck on July 4th as I have on days when the weather is significant. Okay, so we have 7 or 8 months of incredible weather here. Sell it. Sell it and use it, okay? Obviously weekends, nothing wrong with Thursdays and Fridays. Okay, so at your open house, what's the one common thing that happens at pretty much everybody's open house?
You gotta sign in.
That's sign in, right. What's a realtor looking for? So let me ask this question. How often have you sat in an open house and somebody bought that house? They walked in and went, perfect, will you be my agent? I'd like to buy this
That
house.
would be so great.
Happened to me Sunday, but
Good
doesn't happen, right? Very rare. Okay, so what are you doing at an open house?
Me?
You're looking for buyers.
Yeah, you're looking for buyers, right? I used to be at open houses looking for buyers too. I'm not anymore. You bet. Who said that? Yeah. Okay? So be different. I used to have a sign-in sheet that offered 3 options. Option 1, please give me your information so that I can email you 427 times until you want to hunt me down and kill me. Option 2, please give me your phone number so that I can call you so much that you'll have your phone number changed because this jerk realtor keeps calling me. Or option 3, please give me your information. Let's create a business relationship that you can control. You're the boss. And then underneath that, it said, If your name is Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, don't bother leaving your information. I already have it.
Is that a real thing you did?
I love it.
Yeah?
That was a real thing?
Honestly, I have a copy of it upstairs in my office. Okay? Okay. What's the point of the Donald Duck thing? Don't give me your fake information. I don't want it. Don't waste my paper. If you don't want to work with me, don't. And that's when I would use the whole, look at, you shouldn't hire me as your realtor. You should interview me, but you certainly shouldn't hire me. You don't even know me. Maybe you should ask me some questions. Oh, what questions? I just happen to have a list of questions that you should probably ask me if you're going to use me as your realtor. Oh, and by the way, I also have a resume. Okay? Be prepared, be different, and be authentic. Because people will read bullshit a mile away. Okay? All right. Kids are gold. Why are kids gold? Raise your hand if you have children. No, normal children. Okay. So if you have kids, you get kids. You understand kids. You understand kids have snot in their hands and kids get sticky with stuff. And, you know, so there's certain things if you have kids, every other parent can agree with or can understand. Okay? So talk about something you have in common. If they come in with kids, don't talk to the parents. Talk to the kids. Okay? I'll take my business card and I'll talk to the kids, and the kids will be like, "Hi, I'm Mike," and I won't even say hi to Mike. I'm talking to the kid. I don't want to know your name yet, Mike. I want to meet little Johnny here. Dude, how old are you? You play baseball? What grade are you in? Where'd your teeth go? Did you lose your teeth? Did you look for them? What's going on? What are those things on your shoes? There's lights on them. I never had lights on my shoes. Because what do those people like more than you? Their kids. They love their kids. They don't even want to talk to you. But guess what? If your kids like you, all of a sudden you just got an opening. You're in the side door. Okay? Take your business card and hand it to the kid. And say, "All right, Tommy, are we buddies? All right, bud, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to give this card to your mom and dad. Do this in front of their mom and dad. Don't do it like I need you to give this card to your mom and dad. When you get in the car, make sure your mom and dad have this, and then tell them to call me tomorrow, okay? That's your job. Can you do that for me? Yeah? All right. Well, I'm going to pay you early, and if you got a little treat or something, all right, I'm paying you this Snickers bar. You're going to do this, right? Yeah, I'll do it. So now he gets a Snickers bar on your card, okay? But his parents already know what you're doing.
I know they're laughing.
Okay? Watch how fast the parents open up to you, because now you've been totally authentic with them. Okay? You showed who you're all about. Okay? You like kids. Now all of a sudden you're not just some asshole realtor that's trying to get their phone number. I'm still going to try to get their phone number in their email, but I'm going about it a completely different
Would
way.
you do the same thing with pets?
I'm not a big pet person, so it would be very inauthentic for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I'm
if you
not.
are-
But I don't let people bring pets into my open house.
Oh.
Sorry.
Unless they're service animals?
Well, you have to. There's rules with that.
Or some people
So
call it big hold it.
if they're holding the dog, I will tell them straight up front. Say, look, I have no problem if you need to have your dog with you, but you cannot set your dog down in this house because
Right.
just in case it has an accident, it's not my home.
Right.
And the people that live here don't have pets and they would not appreciate an accident. And I know you wouldn't do that on purpose, but please hold your dog the entire time you're in town or in the house. And if they refuse, don't let them in. You don't want to work with them anymore. Get out. I've done it several times. They got their little dog on a leash. Oh, you're gonna have to carry your dog. No, she won't have any problem. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you can't bring your dog in here unless you're carrying her. Well, I'm offended. I said, well, no, I don't care. Sorry. Well, I'm gonna call someone. You call whoever you want, but you're not walking through here with the dog. I'm sorry. I really don't care.
Go 911.
You want my broker's number? Here, call.
By the way, he does love dogs. I know he doesn't sound like it right now.
I like a dog. I'm not a dog person. I'm
I
not.
like a dog, it's true.
But you can't do the same thing with the business card, you can't give it to the dog, so.
You cannot give the dog a business card. You're right. Yeah, and if you give a dog a Snickers bar, that probably ain't gonna go over real well.
Yeah, you're gonna get the dog sick, but.
Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of different strategies. I'm gonna tell you how I am gonna do I'm gonna test it beforehand, probably next weekend. I'm gonna do 4 open houses, 3 or 4 open houses on Saturday, and 3 or 4 open houses on Sunday. And this is something I got from my new coach, who I'm a perfect example of you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So after being in business for 30 years, I thought I had it all figured out, but guess what? I'm not even close. So this guy that I'm working with showed me a way that I can do open houses and create an atmosphere of urgency and accomplish 3 times as much as I would have if I only had 1 open house. So normally open house, what's normal? 3 or 4 hours, something like that? Everybody agree to that? Okay, noon to 4, 11 to 3, something like that. We're all pretty much on the same page as far as that goes? Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 hour open houses and I'm gonna do 3 of them on each weekend day. And here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put my signs out at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm gonna get tape, white athletic tape. I'm gonna put it on the sign. I'm gonna say open house from 10 to 11. Okay, for that house. Then I'm gonna go sign the next one at 9 o'clock. Open house, noon to 1. And then I'm gonna go to the next one. Because you're all going out in the morning. Okay, open house from 2 to 3. Okay, and create an urgency. So people that are driving by going, hey, that's gonna be open at 2. You're gonna accomplish a couple things. This is gonna go backwards or it's gonna go forwards. One of the two. It's either gonna go good or it's not gonna go well at all. But if you think about it, if some guy's driving around and he sees your open house sign and stops in, good thing, right? If he comes with his wife, is it better?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so now if he's out going to Home Depot to pick up something that he's doing on his honey-do list and comes back and says, hey, hon, there's going to be an open house over on Mercer between 2 and 3, you want to go? Now all of a sudden you got both there. Okay, see how that could be an advantage? Okay, they can schedule it in. Okay, some people that are just doing fly-by, drive-by, I'm not going to be in the area at 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to see it. Okay, what's better? The couple that comes together or the guy you missed that just really didn't care anyway?
Yeah. the
Right?
couple, Yeah.
Right? So I haven't done that yet, guys. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if that works. But I'm gonna do 1 hour open houses. I'm gonna do 3 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday.
Are you gonna put them close together?
I'm gonna try. I mean, I'm gonna be strategic about it. Okay? So what's the most important thing about an open house in the first place? Obviously, if it's your own listing, you wanna see your own listing open, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So if you don't have the listings, what's the most important thing that you're looking for when you go to sit in open house?
Short days on market. It's a good product. There's only a couple turns to get to it.
I
Busy
agree with
street.
1 out of 3 of those. I agree with the limited turns. But whether or not it's a good deal or whether days on market, all that, how do people know that if they're driving by?
Yeah,
They don't
That's
know that
true.
yet. I'm not beating you up. I'm just,
No,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm trying to point out
You're-
the
you're
stuff
look-
that
you're
makes,
looking to get your brand recognition.
I want
in
the
the
people
area.
to talk to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I want people to talk to. Want to know what I want to talk to more than anything? I want to talk to the neighbors. I don't care about the buyers. You're going to get buyers. Unless you're a complete idiot, you're going to get buyers at an open house. Okay? If you're asking the right questions, you'll get buyers at an open house. Do you have a realtor? Yes. What's his name? What brokerage is he with? Well, he's Jim and he's with, they don't have a realtor. Bullshit. You don't have a realtor.
Do you say that?
Damn right. I asked him, who's your realtor? Is he any good?
And then if you don't think that they're telling the truth, you tell them bullshit.
Where is he? where is he?
Which
I
is
know there's
code
sometimes
for
I wanted
bullshit.
to.
You just missed the most important question.
Yeah.
Where is he? I mean, it's Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You know, realtors don't work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Right.
Where's your realtor?
It's a good, yeah.
Is your realtor any good? Where's he at?
Right.
Guess what? You just came into this open house unrepresented. If you want to buy this house, you now have to buy it through me. I procured the cause. Your realtor did not.
Even if they have a buyer broker or whatever, you don't.
They better have a buyer broker,
Yeah.
or they're not buying the house unless they buy it through me, because I just procured the cause. And I will go to the realtor board and get that deal.
Is that procuring cause if they just come into
Did
an
their
open
realtor bring
house?
them in? They came in because of my sign. I introduced them to that house.
Nice.
I don't know, that's kind of a gray area though.
Yeah, it's a shitty way to do business, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, where's your realtor?
yeah.
This is why you should have a realtor with you.
right.
A good realtor would be out here looking at houses with you.
Wouldn't want him. to
Or
sell
your
the
realtor
house.
would have said, hey, go look at these houses. This is an open house. Go look at this, and sent you in there with something that said, you know, my realtor sent me, told me to come. Now you got a realtor.
Yeah.
Now you have a realtor. Now you got a realtor that's
They
working.
say it was on their list that the realtor said.
Yeah, that's a different story, but I got news for you.
Yeah.
If their realtor didn't send you, they're not gonna make that up. They
But
don't know
even
how it
at
works.
that,
Yeah.
if you're actually represent, I mean, I know if I have some that that I've sent open houses to, and I don't do that unless there's just no other way for me to go, I'm gonna call that agent beforehand
How
and say,
pissed.
hey, I've got a client that wants to come by the house, are you okay? And will you
Absolutely.
honor my prior broker? And if that person says no, then I'm like, I'm gonna go tell my client, no, you're going, we'll go back
Absolutely.
at this time.
Right.
How pissed off are you gonna be if your client goes to an open house and says, hey, we found this great house. Can you pull it up and give us comps on it? And then find out that they can't buy it through their broker because I procured cost. And if that broker, if that realtor wants to call me and says, yeah, hey, they're my client, I'll be glad to give you a referral fee. I'll give you $200 if you'd like. But I procured cause. Shitty, huh?
And I've had it.
Does it work? Can you do it? Yeah. Is it a really shitty way to do business? Yeah. But now all of a sudden, those clients are looking at you going, this is the guy I want representing me. This guy's not messing around. He knows how this works. Find a way to make sure that they know you're the best realtor, and certainly better than anybody they're working with. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's 31,000 licensed realtors. I don't know
Wow.
exactly what the number is right now.
Oh,
Somewhere in that range, there's 30.
crazy.
Okay, there's 70,000 licensed realtors in Maricopa County. I think it's 31,000, something like that. I might not be exact. But I'm going to tell you right now. Take that number and take 5%, and that's how many realtors actually know what the contract says. Actually, do this as a full-time job. They're not a soccer mom that does one here and one there and accidentally ran into one there. Okay. You guys are working realtors. You're here learning. You're here picking up knowledge. You're working. You should get paid for that. And you know what? You're better than all those other schmoes out there that have no freaking idea what the contract says and cost you business. Every time you go under contract with a realtor that doesn't know what they're doing, guess what? You're doing your job and their job. Anybody in this room ever called another realtor and said, hey, listen, I'll tell you what, walk away. You'll still get your commission. Just don't do anything else. Let me handle both sides of it. Because you're going to fuck this thing up and then I'm not going to get paid.
You've done that?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. You're an idiot. You have no idea what you're doing. Just admit it. You're still going to get your money. Just let me take the ball and run with it because you're going to screw this up.
Oh my god.
What happens if
That's
you're
such
sitting
Chicago,
somebody,
yeah.
I'm sorry, if you're sitting somebody else's house listing, and they come and look, and they do have an agent, you don't have control over that if the other agent is writing the offer, even though you were the procuring cause. Because the other agent can accept the offer that came from that agent that wasn't there. So that only works.
Did you do a prequel Monday for me?
I did,
Who was it for?
for walking our own house.
That had an agent.
They had an agent, a listing, another listing agent.
They had an agent. They told me they had an agent.
Okay, but it was it your listing or somebody else's?
Somebody else's listing.
Not only that, but they also told you that they had another lender and he was even.
Yeah, they also had a lender. And they also had a title company.
But did they really?
Now they don't have any of those. Now they got me and they got him and they got her.
So let me ask you, what if they don't like you and they don't want to use you? Because
Tough
even if
shit.
you have a
Tough shit.
buyer broker agreement,
If they have
you
a
can
buyer broker,
fire-
they're covered. If they have a buyer broker, how many of you, be honest, how many of you use a buyer broker on every single buyer you see?
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
VIP.
Good for you. Buyer broker, not a lending relationship.
No,
a buyer
buyer
broker
broker.
agreement.
Yeah. I'll tell you
VIP.
what it is.
What's VIP? What do you mean
Very
by
important person buyer. My VIP buyers are
Okay,
all-
so you have a buyer broker agreement with every
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Absolutely. And also not only that, it renews every single year.
It renews everything.
Perfect. What percentage of realtors do you think are scared to death of a buyer-broker agreement? And are
Doesn't matter.
scared to get that from their clients?
Most of them.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
What percent of people in this room will not work with someone unless they have a buyer-broker agreement? Raise your
I don't
hand.
know that.
If you don't wanna work
If
with
I don't
them,
know, then I don't do that.
I won't work with you.
Before-
If you don't sign my buyer-broker agreement, go find another realtor.
Amen.
I'm sorry, I can't work with you. You're missing out. I'm the best. I don't work with anybody that's not willing to commit to me. Here's my expectations, here's what you can expect. Sign this buyer-broker agreement and sign my expectations sheet.
But why would you commit to them anyway if they won't commit to you, right?
Amen.
Boom.
And it gives you the opportunity to talk about why they don't walk into open houses without you, why they don't just call somebody off of Zillow and ask to go see a property. It gives you the opportunity to showcase your value and protect your commission.
That's my partner.
She's smart.
She's extremely smart. Cute too.
What do you do with new home builders? 'Cause now
That's a whole different story.
people walking and going.
So
in.
here's the problem with new home builders. Your clients screw you out of those deals by accident. They don't even know that they're screwing you out of it. Because as soon as they go in there and sign in and don't say they're represented, you just got cut out of commission and there's nothing you can do.
But if you've gone over the buyer broker agreement with them, they know that.
And I would mention
still
it's
go.
Which is why you need a,
Buyer broker.
And maybe they should tell them to go, if they must go in, sign with Mickey Mouse.
Oh, no, they'll remember that.
They'll remember.
They'll remember.
Here's the
Yeah,
here's
the
the
bullet,
reality
the
there.
relationship
I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, I believe that we need to manage our clients. And that we have a fiduciary responsibility to them. And if we're just gonna let them just go to Craigslist, because Craigslist is a good one. Almost every one of your clients, actually looks at my ad. I'm not kidding. I pick up the phone and the first thing I say is, not the first thing I say, but one of the things I say is, do you have a realtor? The next thing I say, are you 100% committed to this realtor? If they're 100%, I'm done, I wish you the best, have a good deal. If they're not 100% committed to the realtor, guess what they're doing? They're actually coming in to see me. I'll do the 270 questionnaires. We'll get them locked into the system. And also, they do not leave one of my agents' side. It does not happen. I have VAs.
okay,
to
well,
make sure.
time out, because I'm not gonna disagree with you.
Oh, sorry.
But no, you don't have to apologize. Here's what I would tell you about that. So if my clients want to take a lazy Saturday, because I'm busy, I've got clients, I got a long list of clients. I'm not going to tell them not to go look at houses. You want to go look at houses? Great. Here's a stack of my cards. When you walk in, tell them we have a realtor. Just identify yourself as we have a realtor. That's all I ask. And you should be on Zillow. Tell your clients you should be on Zillow. You should be on Realtor.com. You should be searching everywhere. This is a team thing. We're all working for the same thing. We're trying to find you the right house. If you find it, great. I don't care. It's not like I had to be the one to find it. I don't need a pat on the back. If you find something on Zillow you like, let me know about it. You should be on there. But understand this. Zillow is a tool. And at a certain place, somewhere in this transaction, there's going to be a human connection. There's going to be human interaction. And that's when you're going to want me being my best. When we start negotiating and so on and so forth. Zillow's a great tool. But here, let me give you 5 addresses that I sold in the past 3 months that are still on Zillow as active. So the data is inaccurate.
Right.
But it's a good place to start. It's a good tool. Don't fight Zillow. Why? Why would you fight it? Let them use it.
They're gonna go on it no matter what.
They're going to go on there
Yeah.
anyway.
And they'll be so mad if you try not to let them.
Here, you want another example of how good my partner is, my title partner is? If you look up JohnnyWalkerRealtor.com, you open it up, it looks just like Zillow. I'm no genius, guys. Zillow works. My website looks just like Zillow. It just makes sense.
So it's JohnnyWalkerRealtor.com.
Yeah, it looks just like Zillow. I'm on it like once a month. I'm in trouble for that too, because I'm not on it enough, but if I need to make adjustments to it, I call Amanda and I ask 27 questions. She goes, never mind, I'll do it.
Is that through lawyers, or is it like who's the website through?
The website's built
Placed
on Playster.
placed her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, let me cover something else real quick while we're at it. I'm 56 years old. My IT department moved to San Francisco. my son. Okay? I'm an idiot. Self-professed moron. Dumb like a fox sometimes, but when it comes to Facebook and Chapsnap and Insta thing, that's not my deal, guys. It's not my deal. I don't get it. So I don't use it, because you want to know how I do business? I do business like this. And I look in your eyes and I shake your hand. That's how I get business. And then I get referrals from those people. If you go to my Facebook site, you're going to find shit on there you wouldn't believe. Liz Hermansky told me one day from VIP, she goes, you're avoiding saying what you want on Facebook. And I said, yeah, I don't want to piss anybody off. She goes, fuck them. Say what you want to say. Because if they don't like what you're going to say, they probably don't want to do business with you anyway. So I'm a Republican. I like Trump. I say stuff on, sometimes I really
But you're still respectful about your
I'm
politics.
always respectful,
You're
because
not
everybody has their own
rude
opinion. I'm not
about
saying
it.
I'm right. I'm just telling you that's
And
what
you
my
listen
opinion
to
is.
other people's opinions.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back on track then. Okay, who's the most important person that comes to your open house?
You are.
Neighbors.
Neighbors. Why are they the most important?
Because they know the neighborhood? Or,
Because they're gonna sell if they're there. A lot of times they come to see what.
Quick answers. No explanation. Why are they the most important person to come to your open house?
Because nothing draws a crowd like a crowd.
Okay.
Because they're.
Why are neighbors
sellers
important?
For future clients.
They're looking for a reason. They're there for a reason.
Anybody else? They live there. They like that neighborhood. They're already sold on the neighborhood. They might know somebody or a friend from Missouri that wants to move here, and they might know somebody that might like that house. A, okay, right? B, go back to slide 2. Everybody interviewed for this job. Guess what? They're interviewing you.
Yeah.
Because when you're done with your open house, you're going to go knock on their door if you do it my way. I don't knock doors before, I knock doors after. And I knock the neighbors that came by first. Hey, Tom, thanks for coming by. It was really nice to meet you and your little dog. We had 5 people come through. 3 of them had these really cool vests that looked like flares on them and little things in their hand. And one of them's name was Muhammad. But they'd be great neighbors. Okay? Go through who came by. You know what? I had 8 people through. 6 people love the house, but they didn't like the 2-story. They're looking for a 1-story. Guess what Tom's house is, by the way? Okay, so 6 people loved it, but they didn't like the 2-story. So if you know anybody in the neighborhood, or if you guys are at all interested in buying or selling, let me know, because I got people interested in this area, and that wasn't the right house. Geez, Johnny, let me talk to my wife. You know, we kind of talked about it, but well, now's a good time. You should at least know what your house is worth. So let me write down the address. Let me send you, what's your email? Let me send you what your house is worth right now, and then you guys have a conversation about it. And that's it. You're not being intrusive, but guess what you just did? You just got your next listing. Because you told them, hey, I'll swing by when I'm done. And then do it. I don't care how hot it is, it sucks. I hate it. It's the worst thing I do that I hate doing is knocking doors after open house. I want to go have a beer. I want to go relax.
Yeah, appraisals cost $500. I'm gonna do this for free.
Boom. Okay? Go knock doors after you're done with your open house. You'd be amazed how many people want to talk to you then. Or actually, if you're really smart, and you guys have probably figured out that I have a very open personality. I'll talk to anybody. You have any cold beer? You do? Okay, I'm going to stop by after my open house. Have a beer ready for me. And then when you get there, trust me, they'll have a beer waiting for you. Sit down and have a beer with me. And don't talk about the house. Oh, man, this is good beer. Whatever. Did you kill that elk yourself, or did you buy that in a shop? Or what are these awards these kids got? Are these swimming awards? Wow, where do they swim? You know, now all of a sudden you just got into their personal space. You're a fool if you're not reading what they got in the house, because I got news for you. If you're in their house, their lives are all over the walls. You know, you got something to talk about. Oh my God, where'd you catch that fish? Wow, you got that in Canada? You know, now all of a sudden you got so much to talk about, and you're a real person. You're not the realtor that did an open house down the street. You're having a beer with the guy or the gal or a martini or whatever it is. Okay? And guess what? Guess what? Now their sphere just became whose sphere? You just picked up their sphere. Their sphere might be 10 people, it might be 10,000 people. Who knows what this guy does? Actually, I'm a referral king giant that does, and I'll send your stuff out to 10,000 people tomorrow. Who knows what you're running into? But you just picked up their sphere. So guess what? On my partners, so I have Jim as a partner, and I have Brooklyn as a partner, and I have Amanda as a partner, and I have Shirley as a partner, but guess what else I got with those as partners? I got their whole marketing team. And I got everybody that works at Lawyers and VIP, and all of those guys are helping me out too. Okay? So I've built this incredible team. Out of 2 people that are in the room, I also picked up Lexi, who's an incredible marketer. I've got Amanda, and I've got the entire team over at Lawyers, and Anthony, and everybody. Same thing with knocking doors after your open house. Go knock on a door. God, you never know what you're going to run into. They might have 10 friends looking for houses that live in Minnesota. Now all of a sudden they got a realtor. Let me send an email out. Next day you get a phone call from somebody from Minnesota. Hey, Jim and Bob told me you came by, and you'd be amazed at how quick you can pick up stuff like that. You know what? And here's we got to be out of time, but here's something that's really important that I missed on this last screen. Okay? Ask for the job. Ask for the job. When people are out looking at houses, ask them for the job. Okay? Here's something that works really, really well for me. Look, folks, you're going to go into a lot of open houses, and every realtor you meet is going to beat the snot out of you to try to get your email and your phone number. I don't want it. If you want to give it to me, I'd be glad to talk to you about working together, but I have to interview you first. And you should probably interview me too. Let's make sure there's some kind of connection there, okay? I may not want to work with you. I don't like women with glasses. Sorry. Do you understand what I mean, though? And then ask for the job. Yeah, let's get together Monday morning. I got a buyer packet we'll need to go through. I got a buyer-broker agreement you'll need to sign. I've got an expectation sheet that tells you exactly what you can expect from me and exactly what I expect from you. And if we're all in agreement, let's go to work. You know, I can put together a search for you. So when you meet a realtor at an open house and they say, oh, I can send you all the listings and all that, and now all of a sudden they're your realtor because they sent you some listings, I got news for you. It takes me 5 minutes. I could send you listings to exactly what you're looking for. It takes me 5 minutes, and not only that, I can send it to automatically send them to you every day if you want them. That's no work. Don't let some realtor bullshit you into, oh, I worked my ass off. If you hire a realtor, they should be working for you, not just sending you listings. There's a big difference. Mm-hmm. And then ask for the job. I'm the best. You need me to find this house. Let's go to work. Kind of blunt, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the word I. You should only use the word I 3 times. I said it earlier in the thing. I am Johnny Walker. I am qualified because of X. And I can be reached at. Those are the 3 I's. Everything else should be about them. 3 times you talk about you until you hear about them. Then you can have an open conversation. Only use I 3 times until you find out everything about them. Does that make sense? And stay off your phone when you're asking these questions. Okay, be authentic. Ask questions, and then at your open house, so where are you guys from? Where are you from?
Oh, California,
Oh, really? California. What part?
San Fran.
San Fran?
San Fernando.
San Fernando? Oh. How long have you been looking for a house down here? You see what I'm doing? But don't be afraid to write notes down, because then they know he's actually listening to what I said. Like we had a conversation earlier, I wasn't listening to it. Don't be afraid to write notes. Wait, how do you spell Fernando? San Fernando? You know, write stuff down. Remember stuff. Ask about their kids. Write it down. Nobody's going to get mad at you for writing down answers to questions they're giving you the answers to. Write it down. Don't be afraid. Okay? Be authentic. See, I keep putting that thing on there. Stay off your phone. Nothing pisses people off more than the conversation you and I had, where you just really don't give a shit what somebody's saying. Ask them a question, and then don't care what they're saying. See how fast you lose that client. All right. We talked about all this stuff, right? The resume and name tag. I'm not big on wearing my name tag out. I should be, because my name is a name that everybody remembers, and it's always a conversation starter. Is your name really Johnny Walker? Are you serving Johnny Walker at your open house? You know, I get that a lot. I'm really popular in bars. I've been in every bar in Scottsdale. You know, so I probably should. I don't. Probably not a bad idea though, because I mean, you just never know who you're going to run into in the grocery store, and Jim Zabo's been to the grocery store. I embarrass people when I go to the store because that's just my nature.
Mostly me.
Mostly him. But I'll ask stupid questions. Like I'll be standing in front of the salsa and ask some girl, do you have any idea where the salsa is? And she'll be like, oh, it's right there. Oh, great. Well, I just got a chance to talk to her. Maybe, maybe not. If she's funny and friendly, I find out where she's from. But don't think for a second I'm not trying. I open conversations up with people. You wouldn't believe how often I open up.
We don't let them near the freezer section.
Yeah, because you could melt all this stuff. All right.
Blue heaven.
Know the contract. Okay. How many of you have a blank copy of the contract in the bathroom?
And not for white.
How many of you have a copy of a blank contract in the bathroom?
I don't. But
Why not?
I used to put short sale brochures in the back.
Okay, so how many people have a copy of the latest People magazine in the bathroom? Sports Illustrated, Cosmo, whatever.
It's 2018.
Read
One more
the contract.
phones with us.
Okay, you know what?
You got your phone in the
Okay,
bathroom.
so how many people bring their phone into the bathroom? Okay?
Everybody.
Every one of us uses the bathroom, okay? It's a human thing. It's like something we have to do. Read the contract. Keep reading it and keep reading it. Keep reading it. That guy right there will tell you that you don't know the contract until you've read it 50 times. And he's right. Read the contract. Know the contract. Or guess what? You're one of that percentage that we talked about earlier that have no freaking idea what they're doing. Okay? Okay, let me real quick show you this grocery store thing. This worked for me. You want to go out and get an opportunity? Do this, but you got to be ready to get your ass kicked because this is hard to do. So, I live at 101st and Shea. Okay? There's two grocery stores everybody shops at. They either shop at Fry's or they shop at Albertsons. Pretty much everybody in my neighborhood. I know that. I've lived there for 20 years. Here's my house. Okay? I did this thing to tell everybody I live in this neighborhood. I'm not just telling you I'm your neighborhood expert like dipshit Andrew Bloom or somebody. Oh, I'm your expert neighbor, and he doesn't even live anywhere close to there. Okay? So I'm telling you, I actually live. This is my house, and my address is on here. This is where I live. I went instead outside the grocery store and handed those out to people when I first got in this business every night, and I wouldn't go home until I handed out 10 or 20 of them. Don't hand them out to people going in. Huge mistake. Only coming out. Okay? But you would be amazed how many conversations you can start by doing this. I'm your neighbor. I know this neighborhood. I know where. Here's another thing. Open houses, know where the closest pet hospital is. Okay? For some reason, everybody's into pets nowadays. Say, yeah, you know there's a pet hospital just right over on Bell Road and 44th Street. You don't know that because now all of a sudden that's important to people. But little stuff like that. You'd be amazed how many conversations you can start standing in front of a local grocery store. Worked great for me because I ran the Little League for years, and I ran into so many parents that I coached their kid. They're like, you coached my kid when he was 5. I'm like, oh, yeah. What's he doing now? Oh, he just graduated from college. Oh, you know? Oh, so he's not in school anymore. Okay, so that worked for me. It worked really, really well. But you can really get in big trouble doing this. A, never give them the flyer going in because it's going to end up in the frozen peas. And then the manager's going to be really pissed that your shit's all over his store, okay? And here's the other thing, too, and this is why I don't do mailers. I found this to be more effective. if you opened up your mail today, you got this in the mail, you're gonna go like this. You got 10 of these, right? You're gonna go. And it's all gonna go in the mail in one big bunch, right? Did you read it? Okay. So if I hand this to you when you're coming out of a grocery store, you don't want to read it, right? So you're gonna take this and you're gonna go, oh, this jerk off, and then you're gonna get in your car and you're gonna set it on the seat. Now you've read it twice, okay? Then when you get home, you're not gonna leave it in your car, so you gotta pick it up. Now you've seen it 3 times. You walk in the house, you throw it in the garbage can, now you've seen it 4 times. The other way, you saw it once, okay? This works. You're gonna look at it at least 3 or 4 times, okay? And if you got something on there, just one thing that just tweaks their brain for a second, says, oh, maybe I should talk to that guy. You'd be surprised how much that'll work. And conversations it'll open. How many times do you have to read the contract before you know it? I'm a disciple. We were just talking about you. I asked how many people had the contract in their bathroom, and they all said they bring their iPhone instead. I lost.
We're old, we can't read our
I
iPhone.
know. Right. Okay, so how many of you got a deal in the past year from your AC partner, your AC referrer? Okay, how many got one from a landscaper? How many got one from a painter? Okay, I got a deal from all of those last year. I got a $1.2 million listing in Fountain Hills from my AC guy. Because he went up to fix this lady's AC and she said, my husband passed away, I'm thinking about selling the house. And what did he say? He said, oh, I'm so sorry about your husband. Definitely call Johnny Walker, he'll take care of it. He's a great hero. $1.2 million listing because my AC guy went to fix your AC. Painter, landscaper, plumber, electrician. You should be getting referrals from all of those people and they should all be your partners. How many of you have those as partners? Okay, so go get them. How do you get them? That's easy. Go stand in front of Home Depot. Right next to where you live. And the next painter that comes out, say, hey, I'm a realtor, and every deal I do, somebody's got to paint something, and I have no referral source. Can I come look at the work you do? Would you be interested in me sending you business? Would you in turn be willing to send me business? That's where you find them, unless you don't have one. Okay? Find those people. Landscaper, painter, AC guy, plumber, electrician. You should have every one of those that you're referring business to. Because pretty much every deal you do, you're going to need one of those guys. So you're going to be referring them business more than they're going to be referring you. And the more business you refer them, the happier they are going to be to say, oh, I got one, Johnny, you should call this lady right away. Hurry up. Okay? All these places are great spots for that. All of these places are great places to talk to people. But like I said, you got to have a set. You got to be able to willing to just walk up to people and say, hi, I'm a realtor, and I'm the best. Okay? See? Do your neighbors know you're a realtor? Okay. That's pretty much everything, guys. That's all I got. Okay? Oh, these are really good. Read these. John Dyer will love these. Okay? When you get into a transaction, the other realtors are not your friends. They are not your friends. Okay? Get everything in writing. Oh yeah, we'll do that. I promise. Bullshit. Avoid client-to-client interaction, the buyers and the sellers. Don't ever assume you have the job. Anybody been on a listing presentation that was a friend and you thought, oh, I got this in the bag, and then found out 2 days later that they went with somebody else? I did. Guess who never makes that mistake again? Okay? This is one of John's favorites. I'm like a disciple of the school of how to scare the shit out of you with real estate. John Dyer's school of scaring the shit out of you. Okay, that's all I got, guys. If anybody has any questions, I'm in the office upstairs in the senior wing.
Johnny, that was fantastic.
So is John, he's in the senior wing? Thank you.
I am the senior.
And,
You are the
I'm the
senior
old
now,
guy.
as of the other day.